Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is my third, what sort of word is third? Third video of the day. Maybe that's why I can't get my words out straight. Filming ahead for the week so that I can take a bit of pressure off myself being out and about. So back in July, I don't know whether you saw any of my videos from then, I did Junk Journal July. I participated in that. And this was the journal that I made and then filled up for the month of July. And I was super happy with the fact that I actually completed the whole month. And just really enjoyed going back over looking at what I did. And there's another Junk Journal month coming up in September, hosted by someone different. I can't think of the name of the person who's hosting it. Something like Dust to Roses or something. Anyway, I can put that in the description box. She's hosting a Junk Journal September, and I thought, why not? Because I'm not doing enough. Yeah. I'm really digging challenges that are stretching me and helping me grow. So my plan is to do Junk Journal September. So I want to make another version of this because I really like the format. It's not too big, so I can achieve a spread. So I'm going to make it the same size, give or take. But the insides I'm going to do differently. So I'm still going to fill it with pages, but how I proceed with doing Junk Journal September is going to be slightly different. When I did July, I had no real idea of what I was doing. I didn't know whether it was art journal or a junk journal or a journal to write in, or I didn't know. So it's kind of a bit of all those, and there's some places for write, and then there's others like pages where there's nothing, no place to write, and then there's just random pockets that are empty. Or yeah, I really had no plans. So this time in September I want to definitely do a more themed journal, working to the prompts, and I want it to make it more of an art journal style. So that's my plan. Whether I stick to that or not, I don't know. So I'm just going to write a note of my dimensions because I measured it off camera, and then I was like, I didn't write it down. So I could quite easily mess it up if I don't write it down. So I've just got some light card packaging here, which I'm going to make my cover out of. I'm going to write on it in pen because it's going to not be seen. So my dimensions are 6.5 inches tall by 9 inches wide. So I'm going to take 4.5 inches because this has got a fold. So I'm going to measure 4.5 inches from the fold to give me my 9 inches across. Oops, I think I measured something wrong there. Yes, I did. Don't know what I was thinking on that first one. Never mind. Caught it before it was too late. And then 6.5, yes, 6.5 inches tall. So that's about there. And what I should have done is, this is like a concertina style. I should have cut it in half to begin with. And just make sure that's, yep, I've ruled straight, so it's the same distance at the top as it is at the bottom. That's a good start. So I should have cut this in half so that I'm only dealing with half of it instead of the whole double thing. Be a bit easier to manage with, so I'm just going to roughly chop that in half. And how am I going to go at cutting this without it moving too much? Let's just risk it, and hopefully it's going to be okay. I've got quite a lot of these old advertising things. So I'm finding it very handy for making covers and ephemera out of. At the end of the day, I don't care if it's straight or not, you know, as long as it's within cooey, it'll be fine. So it looks like it's slightly taller than this other one. which I don't mind, but I am just going to trim it down just a tad. They don't have to match, but I think they'll look super cute the more I collect if they all sort of line up nicely on the bookshelf or wherever I happen to store them. Hey, I'm going to do some collaging now, so hopefully it won't be boring for you. I'm just going to grab out some items and hopefully I'm not bumping the camera. I'm just going to move it slightly away from the table. Hopefully you're still on camera, because I did notice a couple of my later videos that they wobble around a bit, and that's because I've had the tripod right up against my table, and so every time I touch the table or do something, it's moved the camera. So I am sorry about that. Yeah, but I didn't want to go to the trouble of re-recording everything, because that would be very time consuming. So I've got lots of scraps here from the images I was cutting out from the dressmaking pattern catalogue, and there were areas of just fun colour and texture that I really liked, so I kept some of them aside. So I am going to use those on my cover. Just take off some of this white. And I'm just going to go in with that whole piece. I'm not going to fiddle around too much because it's not important. I just want it to be fun. Bright, fun, colourful, interesting, and also it captures the memory of doing all this fussy cutting that I've been doing lately. And I've still got heaps to go. I didn't get much done yesterday. Alright, I'm just going to use that straight edge to put it on the bottom. Line it up on the straight edge. Might as well use that little straight bit. Whoops. And just push it down. So yeah, hopefully everyone's had a good day. I've had a very full day. Third video, so it's now almost 3:30 in the afternoon. I would have been on a bit earlier, but I was just doing a little bit of catch up on Instagram, and my friend Lydia popped up doing a live, and I've wanted to catch her lives and have never managed to. Just the timing seems to be wrong, and I find out about them after they're finished. So this time I saw it pop up, she's going live, and it's like, yes. So I let myself relax for a bit and just hang out with Lydia as she was doing her live, and that was super fun. So hi Lydia, it was so wonderful to watch you and be able to give you feedback in real time. It was super fun. So I'll be looking forward to doing that again sometime. And I'm thinking about doing my own lives. I don't know if anyone's interested in me yammering on. But yeah, if you want to see me do a live, then yeah, let me know. Of course, with lives, the people pop on and off, so I don't expect people to like sit there and watch the whole thing. But I really enjoy doing that. I enjoyed spending the whole, however long it was, I don't even know, time with Lydia earlier this afternoon. It was fun. Right. It's just laying down random pieces. I don't know whether I'll put in other pieces or not, but I'm kind of just enjoying these fun bright colours and patterns. Don't think about it too much, just put it down. Goodness. She says as she keeps fiddling. Yep. That's me. Like to fiddle around with things, make sure it looks how I want it. So yeah, do you, talking to everyone except Lydia, I guess, do you watch lives yourself? Do you, are you into them, not into them? Let me know. If you're not into them, that's fine, just let me know, because I want to do what people want to see and not waste my time or anybody else's time. I don't know what I'd do on the lives. That's another thing. But, you know, if you wanted a live, I'd work out what to do. Work out something. I'm just getting rid of straight edges. Not so into the straight edges. I want this messy and fun and random. Well, as random as it gets for using items all from the same source. So hopefully everyone's had a brilliant day. I did take myself outside for a little bit after I watched Lydia's live, and because I'd got super cold, I was in the office while I was watching it, and I'd just frozen by the time I came out. So I went out on the back deck and stood in the sun, and it was so nice, and the birds were singing. And then Snuggles came and found me, so I picked her up and gave her cuddles while I was leaning against the house wall, enjoying the warmth. And then when I felt like I'd defrosted, I came back inside. And the fire's going in the lounge where I am at the moment, so that's helping me stay defrosted. Because it's still winter for another couple of days. Oh, I'm loving this. I think these bits of paper from the dress catalogue are super, super fun. I'm glad I kept them. I didn't keep all of them. I was throwing bits out, and then I was thinking, oh, maybe I should keep them. And so glad I kept some. And going forward, I'll probably keep more. Oh, there's pretty green on the other side too. I should have perhaps be looking at both sides, shouldn't I? But never mind, the green perhaps is not as tying in with everything else I've got going on here. And after I've collaged this up, I am going to cover it with cover seal. I don't know what else you call that's just what I've always called it. It's this plastic covering that you cover children's exercise books and things in. And I've had this roll, and it's mostly there, I think it's hardly used. I've had this roll sitting around for years. And I thought rather than use packing tape, which I don't have, I'd have to use the packing tape at hubby's work. I'll use what I've got. And I just happened to see it in the hallway. Goodness knows why it's in the hallway, but it was. And so, yeah, why not? It does the same job, but I can do it all at once in one big piece. And it just keeps it nice because it's, you know, very junky style, and it gets used solidly for a month and things. And I actually quite like the feel. And Lydia put me onto that. She put me onto the packing tape because that's what she uses on some of her own journals. So yeah, it's a really good idea, Lydia. Thank you for sharing that tip. So my morning video this morning for actual today, aired on the day I filmed it, was Trashcraft Tuesday. And one of the lovely subscribers, Prue, has already made a version of what I made and posted it in our group, Visual Vibes. So if you'd like to pop along to Visual Vibes, there's now a public group, so you don't have to go through sort of any joining process. You can just duck in, grab a freebie, post what you've made, join the conversations. Then I would love to see you over there. It would be super cool. There is a private group as well, but once the members of the private group have hopped into the public group, then that private group is going to be discontinued. So hopefully you find the right one. If you have to go through a joining process answering questions, then that is the private group, and you want the one that's public. So I decided to do that now while there weren't too many members, rather than upset everything and make people switch over later on. I'll leave a little gap there, that's alright, we can fill that. So far I've used nothing but the pattern catalogue pieces, and I have to say it's actually really good to use them. Freshly collected and freshly used. Doesn't get much better than that. So I was, took me a little bit to start this video because I was like, what am I going to do? And I was kind of feeling like I'd already talked so much today and didn't have a clear idea of a project to do, what I was going to do in the video. And then I remembered that I wanted to do Junk Journal September, and it's only a couple of days away now, so I thought I'd better do a cover. Why not do it on camera? So I'll just do the camera. Sorry. See, I've been talking too much. I can't make complete sensible sentences anymore. So as I was trying to say, I will do the cover on camera, but I'll put the pages in off camera because I haven't sorted out the pages to go in yet. Gosh, that was an effort to get that sentence out. During the day, mostly, apart from if I ring my mum or something, the only ones I'm really talking to are my cats. And of course when I do a video. But to do 3 in one day, it's the most I've done in one day. Yeah, it's beginning to show, tell in my voice. And my voice is getting a little husky too, from the sound of it. Lots of blue in here, I'm noticing, which I'm okay with. Now I've got some bits I need to trim off edges. And if I run out of these pieces, I will just go in with something else, some text or something. We shall see. Right, I'm getting down to some smaller areas now. So I'll do the cover seal on camera as well, just in case you're not sure on how to use that. I worked in my high school library, and one of the jobs I used to do was covering the new books with the plastic cover seal. I'll just call it cover seal because I don't know what else to call it. It's what I called it when I was young, and it's probably a brand name or possibly a brand name, but that's what I know it is, so that's the term I'm going to use. So if you know it is something else, please just know that that's what I'm talking about. Right, that glue page was getting all too sticky. I'm loving how this is turning out, and I've only got a couple more bits by the look of it in my scrap bag, so we might have to go Fossick for something else. Right, just might cut, where's my scissors, cut that, the straight edge there, and then tear that edge because I've got enough room lengthways. Oh, pretty on the other side too, multicoloured. Oh, neighbours have got loud music going. Just filling up the gaps now. I do need to do the inside, which I sort of temporarily forgot about, but no big drama. I'll just fold over some of the bits that I can fold over, and the rest I will just go in with something else and collage, and I need to do that before I cover it with the cover seal. So hopefully, yeah, as I said, hopefully this isn't too boring for you, but I'm having fun. I'm excited to work on another junk journal month. I've already written out the prompts for the month. So I know what they are. And it will be interesting to see how I interpret them this time. The first prompt is the same as the first prompt of Junk Journal July. So I don't really want to put the same patterns. Oh, I suppose it doesn't matter, does it? Let's just do it. Just do it. Come here. Bring it down. I might be able to wrap that bit over. I've given it enough. Right, I have, I think, just a gap up here. Oh, and one here. So is that big enough to get that one? Oh, I think it actually is. So I'll pop that one there. Like so. And part of me wants to go into the catalogue and see if I can find another bit. Maybe I've got some that I haven't fussy cut out here. Maybe I can find a bit that I know I won't be using just to fill that gap. So if I'm most likely going to be taking the smaller images. So cut that there. Put that one aside for fussy cutting, and then I can grab some of these bits. So I think this one looks cool. Now it's such a small little gap to use to do, I might as well use more of the same sort of thing. And just going to take off that straight line. And I'm going to plop it down there. Now I haven't thought about doing a label or anything for the front, which I probably should do. What did I do on the last one? Okay, I put a label underneath the cover seal or the packing tape. This one's got packing tape. Okay. Don't let me forget to do a label on the front before I cover it. I'm counting on you. So use your best shouting voice. Now I'm just going to take a moment to trim around these edges because if I do the inside and cover over these, I might have trouble finding where the edge of the card is. So I just want to give myself a clean edge to work with. And these bits aren't big enough to wrap around, otherwise I just would have folded them onto the inside. But I didn't think about it in time. So I'll just get rid of those little scrappy bits. The loud music would have been them bringing the boy home from school. That's what that would have been, because school's out. Right, I don't think I'll be using that bit anymore, so I'll pop that out. Right, what am I going to collage inside? Let's have a look at the script. I want to try and do some bigger pieces so I'm not wasting too much time. Maybe this bit of technical drawing. Don't want the straight edges or the white. And I'm thinking neutral for the inside because the outside's nice and bright colourful. So if we make the inside, and I did not cut that straight at all. If we make the inside more neutral, then it's kind of like balancing it out. So this is bigger than my glue book, so I'm just going to glue it on top of my cover. I mean, you don't necessarily need to cover the inside. I just want to make sure I cover over the advertising. It's not particularly interesting to me. I'd rather just have something that's nice to look at. Oops. Or at least not distracting. Right. Okay, so that's one big foul swoop, covered a lot. So let's find some other pieces to go with it. This little bit of printable, might as well stick that on. Put this down here so I can use the straight sides in the corner. Now when it comes to working with the cover seal, the hardest part is that it's curled up in a roll, so it likes to keep its shape, and that can be a little frustrating to manhandle. Just got to persist with it and hold it as best as possible. It's a long time since I've used it, so yeah, I have to remember all my tips and tricks, I guess. Okay, here's another bit of the same, not the same sheet of paper as this, but the same source. So, oops, I might have, no, it's all good. Thought I might have torn it too narrow, but no, it works. Put it down in that corner. That's upside down, and I am not worried about that. I think upside down things are less distracting than if it's the right side up when it comes to text and things. You're less likely to try and make sense of what it says or read it, spend time reading it or anything like that. It's just got a few numbers there. Okay, I did get it slightly low, but it is actually still the paper behind it underneath, just a white bit. There, and don't need it that tall. Take it down a bit, give it an interesting shape. Oh, it's really toasty in here now. It feels like I need to go and shut the fire down a bit more. It is partially shut down, but yeah, I'm feeling very nice and toasty now. And I ended up with a gap, so maybe I can find something else to go in that gap, and I'll put a piece of this up the top. Yeah. And I see in my bag of scraps a bit of envelope, the inside of an envelope, and I think that'll work perfectly to go down and fill that wee gap there. So really happy. This is using up a few scraps. which is really, really good. Right, I don't need those anymore, so I'll pop those away off the table. So let's go with that. I think that's a fun shape. So that will just take care of that last little gap, and then we're good to label it. I almost forgot. I was thinking we're good to do the cover seal. It's like, hang on. Somebody was shouting, which is very clever since this won't air until not tomorrow, next day, so Thursday this is going to air. So you've shouted at me 2 days before this airs, or 2 days after. I don't know, 2 days after I'm recording. Gosh, I think it's time I headed off for the day, but however, we're going to press on. We're going to get this done. Just have a sip of my tea, or a gulp. Right, I've just got some glue. Just want to give it a wee clean up. And it's not perfect, the edges aren't totally covered, and that's where the cover seal is going to come into its own, and it won't matter. The paper won't lift or do anything weird when I've got the cover seal over top. Right, so which way do I want? So that way's that way up, really. I've still got more glue. Obviously that glue page was a bit too gluey. I've got glue showing everywhere. That'll do. Right, so I think I'll make this my cover, and I need a label. So let me pull out my labels, and I'm thinking, do I want one of my own labels or somebody else's? Kind of thinking I might want one of my own. So perhaps one of my stamped ones, wherever I've put the box. I've been making, I've still got some to do actually from Friday's video, I think. Got some left undone. No, purple doesn't work. Blue would be okay. Leafy, no. Oh, that one might be quite nice. Although I quite like the blue one. Is it big enough to write on? That is the other question. Or one of these stamped labels. No, it's a bit busy, I think. Busy, or... there we go. Sometimes you just got to keep looking until you find it. So I need to write on it, and I'm thinking my Pitt pen, which is hiding on the edge of my desk. So I'm not going to worry, it's got date and title there. I'm not going to worry about those. I'm just going to write over the oh, this is magazine page. The Pitt pen's not particularly happy on there. So I'm going to go for, sorry, my squeaky chair. I'm going to grab a Sharpie instead. Just need to look for my black one. Sorry about the noise. Oops, now I'm throwing pens on the floor. Right. Yes, that's better. Ooh, have I got room? I'm just going to put NL for journal because I have not got room. And now September. And I haven't got room for the year, so that's okay. Oops. Don't know if I need to, but I'm just going to run around it with the Distress ink. Do I want to back it to make it pop out a bit more? Yes, is the answer to that. So, got some strips of paper here. I'm just going to back that with a bit of blue paper. Blue paper, two different words there. Sounded like I said blue paper. I'm really losing it, people. Obviously 3 videos in one day is maybe a bit much for me. But I'm having fun. Hope you are too. But I'm actually really happy that I can spend the next 3 days away from home and not have to worry about taking all my recording equipment. I can just take the supplies I need to work on things that I want to do while I'm away. So we'll be home every night. It's just going to my hubby's work, hanging out there. Get some social interaction going. And doing my thing at my desk. Crafting away. Spending some time with hubby in the car to and from, which is nice. And he makes me cups of tea and coffee through the day, because it's more difficult for me to get up and down the stairs with crutches. So I only go up at lunchtime typically, up to the 2nd floor to do lunch. But he brings me down cuppas during the day, which he's just really super thoughtful and sweet. Okay, I think that's all I need. I can put a 22 on some other time over top or something. Right, I'm just going to clear space here to grab out the cover seal, put some things out of my way, and I think get rid of the Sharpies as well, otherwise I'm going to end up knocking those off the desk. Remember to pick up the one I dropped on the floor. Right, so, and here's what I mean about it curls up all the time, and just trying to stop it doing that. So something on top is helpful, so I use my bottles of glue, and very helpful that this one's got a grid. Not all of them, when I was growing up, they didn't have grids, or they had a bigger grid, so you could cut straight, but not all of them did, so sometimes you were just guessing. So this one's quite cool, nice and easy to cut reasonably straight. And it's not important to get it super straight, just so that you don't end up with a bit that's not covered with cover seal. That's all we're trying to achieve. Right, swing it round. And I'm just going about 3 squares on each side, not precisely. And they look to be about 1 centimetre. Yeah, they are. The centimetre squares. So about 3 centimetres on every side is what I'm doing. So I've got a scrap of leftover for something, not sure what. Right. Okay. Now I was just taking a second to remember the process. Now once you take the backing off, it is kind of staticky. The clear plastic itself goes, like, you'll see what I mean, it's kind of will stick down onto the mat underneath. Once I get this separated from the backing, there we go, just getting it started is the thing, getting in between the backing and the clear plastic. And the other thing to watch with this is it will pick up your fingerprints. So I try to oops, sorry, it's not camera. I try to handle it as little as possible, and I'm stuck to it, because it will keep your fingerprints and they will be visible. Right, so see how it's kind of flattened out now? That's the static sort of quality. And I'm going to try and lay this down as straight as I can, and it's not actually sitting straight on my mat, so just give it a straighten, I think. So I've got some possibility of getting it about right. So just laying it down, smoothing it out as I go. Right, so far so good. Now go in and snip the corners. So for this, I just go straight across out from the corner, and don't throw these triangles out. We'll need those in a moment. And this is exactly the same process that I used to use for covering books, with one exception. We used to do a thing on the spine, because of course a book spine was wider. So we had a little trick that we did with that. But with this journal, because it's just a crease line, you don't need to worry about that. I'll just go straight across. Okay, one more corner. That seems to be lifting up a bit there. I might have to go in with some glue, because it's not all going to be under the cover seal. So I'm not worrying about cover sealing the inside. Right, so I've snipped all the corners, and now I'm just going to go in and smooth from the center, pushing it up so that it gets right in against the edge of the cover. Yeah, and same on the other side, like so. And I realize you probably can't see this very well because it's clear, but if I hold it and sort of get the light to shine on it, yeah, hopefully you can see where I'm going with this. So again, into the middle, and then easing out to the corners, pushing up from the bottom. There we go. And this one in at the middle, and then out to the corners. Oops. So you can get wrinkles, and they're not the end of the world. There's a lot of wrinkles in the one that I did with packing tape. If you were doing it to sell or something, then I probably wouldn't be so happy with the wrinkles. But when it's just for me, it doesn't matter. It just adds a bit of texture. So I just managed to get wrinkles on that one, and I think because I was changed my angle of what I was working with. Right. So now we go and grab our corners and just put them, line them up in the corner, and it just gives the corners a little bit extra strength and durability, and it covers the gap where the two side pieces might not meet. So this is what we used to do in the library, in my high school library. As a deputy head librarian I was. Oops, put it on straight, girl. This is one of the things I used to do, and I used to do a lot of it. There we go, and last corner, like so. Oops, bit of fluff cord under that one. Oh, must be off my jersey. Okay, so there we go. Is my cover for Junk Journal September, and I think that's super fun, and I just need to go in and push down some of those areas where the paper is, just to make sure it's all stuck down, but it looks pretty good. So I think that's stacked on a shelf once this one's full, and it's going to be chunky like this one, maybe even chunkier, who knows. I think they'll look super cute stacked on a shelf. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed this little project, and yeah, why not, if you've got some time and are interested, make yourself up one and pop along to Junk Journal September. I will try and link the details of that in the description box. So thanks for joining me and putting up with my inability to get words out today. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for joining me, and have a great day. Bye for now.